And welcome to Check Please, the show regular people from all over Chicago recommend and review their favorite restaurants. So this is how the show works. Every week we have 3 guests. Each recommends his or her favorite spot, and the other 2 go to check them out to see what they think. This week, culinary analyst Jenna Ye says her favorite spot is off the charts. She says for a tasty meal that always reminds her of home, head on over to her delightful deli. But retiree Jim Brown says he's found a spot where you can relax in the hustle and bustle of the Loop. He says for truly splendid food and service, join him at his favorite French brasserie. But up first, policy and philanthropy consultant Danielle Lazarowitz says her conclusion is clear. For a truly unique experience of Midwestern omakase and much more, join her in Logan Square at Arbor.
Essentially, we're obsessed with flavor and obsessed with what constitutes a memorable experience. So if someone comes in, they should sense that care and emotion. For omakase, it's this tasting menu experience that's as if the chef and the owner is kind of setting this up for you.
People come in and it's really kind of like, whoa, what did I just step into? And then on top of that, we're always building the story and building the narrative. I mean, I'm not even 100% decided on what's on the menu tonight.
But it's delicious. Like, we're choosing deliciousness. So really, it's like trust. You have to establish trust.
Crispy cauliflower with a cauliflower jardinera.
I get excited every day. Really, that's the point. If I'm not excited every day and my staff's not excited every day, why are we? Because we can do a lot of other things that pay more money and work less hours and way less stress. We're looking to provide an experience that's starkly different, and I think a lot of people are just like, what is this place? Yeah. Which is my favorite reaction, by the way.
So Danielle, you say that Arbor is absolutely wonderful. Tell us why you chose it.
To me, it's a really unique experience, unlike anything else I've had in Chicago. I really like that it's a personal approach. You talk to the owner beforehand, you tell them what you like and you don't like, and then you're able to go and have a custom dinner made just for you. I think that it's really an affordable experience, and it's just a really comfortable, relaxed dining experience.
So Arbor is many things. It's located in the Green Exchange building, a LEED platinum certified building, right? It's on the 2nd floor, but it is a coffee shop by day, it's a lunch spot, and then they do a tasting menu, but only on Friday and Saturday nights.
Right, so to me, this has to be a labor of love by the owners of the restaurant. This is where I think they really cook the food that they love and that they want to cook.
We didn't really know what to expect, but we were pleasantly surprised. I have to tell you that I thought the presentation of the food was fabulous. All right, I mean, the attention to detail to it was very, very nice. I loved our waiter. He came over, he explained everything. Layer by layer. We did the tasting menu with the wine accompaniment to it.
Well, you can only do the tasting menu.
Yes, well, I didn't know that at the time, but I do now after you've explained it to me.
So Jenna, they offer 3, 5, and 7 courses for the omakase, which is a tasting menu. What'd you go with?
We actually went with the 7.
Oh,
we
so
wanted
to
go
I've
all
never
out.
done the 7.
I can't imagine 7 courses. We had 3, but
we were rolling out at 3. I like that not everybody gets the same dish, so we were able to actually share. So doing 3, it was almost like having 6 courses of getting to taste different things. They also make all their own bread in-house, so every time I've gone is a different bread that you get at the beginning. I had this tuna dish when I was there that was amazing. It was a seared tuna on this kind of lemongrass coconut curry sauce.
We had that too, except for ours had a piece of swordfish on the top, and it was perfectly grilled. It was beautiful. And the tuna crudo, which was really beautiful and fresh, on like a soba noodle with a yuzu dashi broth that I actually slurped after I was done eating it. And that was great. That was really tasty. There was a short rib that was just a really beautifully cooked cube of short rib. It was tasty. It just wasn't that hot. A lot of the criticism that I had about the food, while it was really tasty, just wasn't hot enough.
Ours was hot and warm enough. It wasn't a problem. Actually, my wife and I fought over who was going to get the most. I thought that was wonderfully prepared, wonderfully presented.
The creativity was certainly there. One of the things that I really appreciated, they make their own kombucha. The chef has been making his own kombucha with the same mushroom for the past 10 years. Just the service and the food fell a little bit short for me. I think that a lot of the elements of service could have been a little bit more refined.
I'm surprised to hear you say that. For me, what I've really liked about the service is that it never felt rushed, and the waiter usually spent a long time talking to us. We kind of almost became friends with the waiters, and I've been there multiple times, and I've always had that experience.
And our waiter was excellent in describing everything, almost to the point where we said, okay, we want to eat it now. And you know, but he was doing his job, and he did the same thing with the wine tasting.
I think there's a fine line between being too descriptive of a dish and being just descriptive enough to the point where, like, you're not forcing your diner to sit there and listen to you while all they want to do is just eat. And
as your food is getting cold.
As your food is getting colder and colder.
So Danielle, you made a comment that every time you take your friends there, they want to keep it a secret. They don't want people to know about Arbor. Why is that?
I think because it's just such a unique experience, and unlike anything else that you've been there, like not many places you go, you have no idea what you're going to be eating. You know, you kind of leave it up in their hands. They want to be able to get a reservation still, and that's why they want to keep it secret.
But you want everybody to know about this place.
I feel the passion from the folks that work there, and I just want to have that passion shared with everybody.
Well, Danielle, you picked Arbor. Sum it up for us.
A unique tasting menu experience where you go to really feel the passion from the owners.
Jim?
I thought it was a beautiful presentation. I thought the food was unusual and different, and we enjoyed our experience there, even though it was somewhat different.
And Jenna?
A good effort. I would say if you're in the neighborhood, check it out to do some work and get a kombucha. Otherwise, I would say there are lots of other tasting menu options in the city.
Well, you can try the omakase and more at Arbor, 2545 West Diversey Avenue, 312-866-0795. They're open for dinner Friday and Saturday, 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. And the cafe is open Monday through Friday from 6:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. Dinner reservations are required, and the average dinner tab per person without drinks is $70. Jenna knows her way around modern cuisine, but sometimes she wants some old-time comfort food that brings back memories of growing up. In her case, that means the aromas and nostalgic nachos at Max and Benny's.
We're over 3 decades strong. My parents started the business when I was 1. We're just like good old-fashioned, you know, grandma's, you know, homemade cooking. We do a lot of things, and we do a lot of things very well. We have a scratch bakery, a scratch kitchen. We make all our own soups, bread, bagels, sweets, custom cookies. So we're working around the clock. Well, when people walk into Max and Benny's, they see a lot of familiar faces. They get kind of a blast from the past in terms of the foods they know they grew up with. It reminds them of, you know, their Bubby and Zadie, you know, their grandparents. Just a lot of laughs, smiles when you come in, because really people from the area, they come in, they see people they haven't seen in 20 years, or they saw people they saw, you know, this morning for breakfast. So a lot of good stuff for a lot of good people.
So So Jenna, you say that Max and Benny's is the best. Tell us why you chose it.
Yes. So the original location of Max and Benny's was in Glenview, where I grew up. And my mom used to take me there, starting from when I was really little, before she would take me to school. And so it was our special breakfast spot. And then I think sometime around the late 90s, they moved to their current location in Northbrook. And they expanded their dining room area and they added a deli. But the food has always been consistently simple and delicious and just very homey and comforting for me. It's my textbook comfort food.
So you literally grew up with this food?
Literally, yes. I have a Jewish mother, and so anybody who has a Jewish mother knows that their #1 mission in life is to feed you.
Definitely.
And that is the most important thing. Everything else is secondary. And so growing up with this food in my house and then also going out to eat on the weekends was always a staple for my family growing up.
Well, Danielle, you have a Jewish mother.
I do, and a Jewish father. It definitely brought the nostalgia factor for me in terms of everything on the menu included like everything I could ever want in terms of Jewish comfort food. The vibe of the place was definitely people, you could tell that had been there, going there for a long time.
Yes,
it was
definitely.
very crowded when we were there. The food for me wasn't as good as my grandmother's, cooking, but whose is. I thought it was okay. I thought it's better than other Jewish style delis I've been to in the Chicago area. So I thought it was good. We had the matzo ball soup with krepla. I liked the krepla a lot. We had the stuffed cabbage, and that was kind of a pleasant surprise, especially the filling was really delicious. Had to get the hot pastrami on rye with mustard, and the smell was definitely the smell of home. I'm from the New York area. It definitely reminded me of that. I thought it was a little bit chewy and fatty, the meat itself, but the flavor and the smell definitely kind of reminded me.
You didn't
of
have
home.
the Reuben, you had the pastrami sandwich?
I'm kind of simple when it comes to my sandwich. I just like it with mustard and that's it. But I'm sure, did you have the Reuben?
I had the Reuben.
How was
we
it?
had
Did
the
you
like
Reuben.
it?
But yeah, I liked it
It's
very
the
much.
world-famous Reuben.
I
It
thought
is
it
a
was,
world famous Reuben.
we tried
That's
to
actually
do
what it's called.
to try the smoked meats, and I thought the Reuben was the star. No doubt about it. I know my way around the Jewish deli, being born and raised in New York. I enjoyed it. Didn't really remind me of New York delis because of the scale of the place. It was. I thought it was rather large. It was crowded. It was right before one of the holidays, so maybe that was the wrong time to go. But we also had the matzo ball soup, and we had brisket because I wanted to try brisket, and we also had the pastrami, which I thought was excellent.
I'm glad that it stands up to the New York style of deli. Not even knowing that I would be seated at this table with two New Yorkers.
To me, it wasn't quite at that
It's
level.
not quite there. Right. No, it's different. It's definitely got its own certain, thing being a Chicago deli, and there's a couple of other in the city.
Okay, in terms of, I didn't think the food was mind blowing.
That's true. You do.
It is not that far, I noticed, from the Chicago Botanical Gardens. So, and one of the things we liked the best was they have a bakery and a deli out front that's not sit down, and I took a big bag of arugula home with me, and I could see it being a good place if you want to grab some baked goods or a sandwich and bring to the Botanical Gardens and have a picnic there. I think that could be that's how I would probably use it if I went back there.
We also went to the bakery afterwards, and brought home a couple of items. One was the coconut custard pie, which was, and I'm a coconut freak anyway, it was just outstanding. It was terrific. And I think we got an eclair also. I did want to try the bagels too, because I'm a big bagel fan.
I did try the bagel.
I didn't think
it wasn't that great.
No, they kind of missed the boat there.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
They're not quite New York bagels, but
do they bake those there?
I think they bake them there.
do.
They bake
Okay.
everything there. One of my favorite things to get is either the lox or the whitefish salad on an untoasted egg bagel with red onion and sliced tomato.
You
That's
sound
my
very
absolute
specific about that.
favorite thing.
You've ordered
to
that
get.
before.
I've ordered that before, and
All right, Jenna, you pick Max and Benny. Sum it up for us.
If you need a respite from this city and you're looking for some simple comfort food, take your family for lunch on a Sunday to Max and Benny's.
Danielle?
If you're in the mood for bringing back the nostalgia for some Jewish comfort food, it's a great option in the Chicagoland area.
And Jim?
I concur. I think, and because it's close to where I live, it's something that I can explore now up in my neck of the woods and not have to go all the way downtown to get some good Jewish deli food.
All right. Well, you can try the whitefish salad and more at Max and Benny's, 461 Waukegan Road in Northbrook, 847-272-9490. They're open Sunday through Thursday, 7 a.m. to 8:30 p.m., Friday and Saturday, 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Reservations are accepted, but for parties of 5 or more, and the average tab per person without drinks is $13. Well, Jim Brown knows restaurants because he used to own one. He says if you're looking for fabulous food and French flair in the heart of the Loop, look no farther than Cochon Volant on Monroe.
The Flying Pig is, our staple. It's our logo. It's who we are. It's who we represent ourselves as. Is Cochon Volant Brasserie, the Flying Pig. Our cuisine is a French bistro, but we have everything from a French dish like steak frites to an American classic like a double cheeseburger. So I think that's what makes us different for the neighborhood is, you can come here and have those two different experiences. Anybody from a construction worker to a banker to a lawyer. That's the best part about where we're located is we get people from all walks of life. They should expect, first of all, a good warm atmosphere, where everybody's friendly, they feel welcome, no pretentiousness, just a good place to hang out and have a good meal and a good cocktail.
So Jim, you say that Cochon Volant is a veritable feast. Tell us why you chose it.
Well, I want you to know that if you're looking, I just love this restaurant. I have to say that up front. If you want an authentic, approachable, waltz in and out of a brasserie experience, Cochon Volant is it. I learn more about it every time I go there. I'm in love with the presentation and the food because the food actually tastes as good as it presents at the table. They do all their own baking there. They serve breakfast and lunch in addition to dinner. They cover all the bases when it comes to the typical French entrees. There's aged beef, there's great French onion soup. I like it because it's different. There's a myriad of things around downtown that to me have a sameness about them. There aren't a lot of French dining experiences. And I like this because it is approachable. It's not stuffy French. It's comfortable French.
I had been wanting to try Cochon Volant for a while because I love a brasserie, I love that style of food, steak tartare and the French onion soup. We had just a really nice casual meal. We kind of hit the after work loop happy hour crowd. The bar was pretty crowded.
So you had a nice family dinner.
We had a nice family dinner.
Well, Danielle, you went for lunch. What'd you think?
So I went for brunch, so I don't know what the meal is like at dinner. Maybe it's a different experience. I thought that it had kind of a corporate feel, if that makes sense, in terms of the menu and the design. It didn't feel super authentic to me, actually. It felt like it was trying to be authentic, but it wasn't actually authentic. In terms of the brunch menu, it felt like kind of traditional American brunch with a French twist. The food was not great for us. Some things were better than others, but the sausage was a little mushy that we had. I had an avocado toast that was basically just avocado on untoasted bread. with 2 eggs on the side. It wasn't anything really special.
I'm sorry you had that experience at lunch. I have never had lunch there. I've eaten breakfast there and I've eaten dinner there. I have to tell you, I've not really ever had a bad meal there, and the steak frites are wonderful. The beef is all 30 or 40 day aged, depending on which cut that you get. We had a couple wonderful appetizers there. We had the warm brie plate with honey, and that was fabulous. For an entree, we got one basic fish dish, all cut and trimmed to order. It was very, very nice. My wife got the orchette, which is not a traditional French dish, but I had a taste of it, and it really was excellent. It was made with kale that evening, and it was really wonderful. They also prepare their own bacon there, and
the bacon we had for breakfast was good. That was the best thing that we had.
The bacon was really good. My husband had a burger that had a piece of bacon that was about a ½ inch thick.
Yeah, very thick.
And it was crunchy and just like rich and delicious. My sister, who is 12, had the short rib, and she was sitting right next to me, which was good because I ate about half of it off of her plate because it was so delicious. The French fries were really nice, and the burger was a pretty serious burger.
Well, they do their own baking there too. The bread is to die for. I really enjoyed it.
The bread was really good.
The bread
we
is
had
terrific.
the steak tartare, and the bread that came with it was like this thick sourdough, and it was toasted, and it had olive oil.
Did you have dessert?
We did have the dessert. We had creme brulee. The flavor of the custard was nice and vanilla-y and simple, but it didn't have the crunchy crap.
Well, we had the mousse à chocolat for dessert, and it was really excellent. They do it a little differently. They do a salted caramel crust over the top, and then they put a chantilly cream on top of the mousse, and it was, my wife and I were fighting each other for it after we got through the meal.
So Danielle, as you're listening to Jenna and Jim describe dinner, would you give it another shot for dinner?
Maybe I would. It kind of feels like, I feel almost like we went to 2 different restaurants based on hearing your guys' great experience. So it does open up my mind to trying it again. Definitely maybe before going to a show or something like that. I'd be definitely open to trying it.
Well, you wouldn't be
again.
disappointed, I'm sure.
I'll call you if I
Okay, you do.
All right, Jim, you chose Cochon Volant. Sum it up for us.
I think if you want an authentic, approachable French brasserie experience in downtown Chicago, you can't miss at Cochon Volant.
All right. Danielle?
Maybe not the best brunch option in the Loop, but perhaps a good place to go for a happy hour drink or dinner.
And Jenna?
If you're in the Loop for whatever reason, I would say check it out for some tasty food in a comfortable setting.
Well, you can judge for yourself at Cochon Volant, 100 West Monroe, 312-754-6560. They're open Monday through Friday, 6:30 a.m. to 11 p.m., Saturday through Sunday from 7:30 a.m. to 11 p.m. Reservations are accepted, and the average tab per person without drinks is $50. So in this week's show, we featured Arbor in Logan Square, Max and Benny's in Northbrook, and Cochon Volant Brasserie in the Loop. Let's recap what our guests had to say. First, we headed to Diversey and sat down at Arbor. Danielle recommends it for the custom dining experience and relaxed atmosphere. Jim was pleasantly surprised and loved the attention to detail. Jenna was disappointed and thought the service needed refining. Next, we went to the northern suburbs and visited Max and Benny's. Jenna recommends it for its homey feel and delicious comfort food. Danielle said it was okay, but not as good as Grandma's. Jim enjoyed the bakery, but it said it's no New York deli. Lastly, we made our way to Monroe and dined at Cochon Volant. Jim recommends it for the authentic French brasserie feel and delicious dishes. Jenna enjoyed the food and had a nice family dinner. Danielle didn't feel the authenticity and wasn't impressed by the brunch. Well, we've had just a wonderful time this week, and I'd like to thank my guests, Jenna Ye, Danielle Lazarowitz, and Jim Brown. Join us next week for 3 new guests recommending 3 of their favorite restaurants right here on Check Please. I'm Alpana Singh, and I'll see you then. Cheers.
Cheers.
For more information about the restaurants featured on Check Please, go to WTTW.com/checkplease.